our third movie this week was, in fact, Kick-Ass. Yeah. Nico, you want to go ahead and explain the plot of
Kick-Ass is the story of Kick-Ass. He is a kick-ass teen who wants to become a superhero by dressing up as a vigilante, and he immediately gets the shit beaten out of him, is very sad, and he breaks all of the bones in his body, but he gets them replaced with metal bones, so now he no longer feels pain. And in doing so, he's able to kick ass more efficiently, but not that efficiently. So Hit Girl and Batman need to save him, which goes very well. And then the mob tries to hunt him down because they want to get to Batman and Hit Girl, which goes pretty well for them. They kill Batman, but not Hit Girl, which is the most important part here. So Hit Girl ends up murdering the entire mob, and Kick-Ass and her walk on into the sunset.
Mm-hmm.
Fun fact, Nick Cage is actually the one who came up with the idea for the mustache extensions when he's disguised as Big Daddy.
I did think that was a very funny bit.
I remember being told this movie was bad when it came out, so I guess that set the bar low for this movie, but luckily it slightly surpassed that.
Did it end up being pretty kick-ass to you, Dylan?
I thought it was fine. I didn't think it was an extremely offensive movie. I thought it was pretty good. For some reason, the whole time was like, man, this is a lot like Watchmen. And then I saw how I rated Watchmen. I'm like, I don't think it's that good. So I had to knock
fair
down
assessment.
a few pegs.
I think this movie, like, I find it interesting that you say people told you it was bad. I feel like this movie has been pretty gassed up for me.
Really?
And undeservedly so.
I think same here, yeah.
I think this movie's fine. I don't... It's not taking itself super seriously, like I was saying about Revenge of the Nerds, which is fine. I can appreciate a movie on these terms and in this context when it's not taking itself super seriously. I definitely saw this movie going a different way. I guess luckily it didn't. I like how our main protagonist still had struggles, and he more or less overcame his... Well, I'll say he overcame his personal struggles his own way. All the other external ones, he was being assisted, which I'm not saying that's a bad thing, that's fine. I did find it weird when the movie kind of all of a sudden got overhauled by all these other superheroes popping up, ergo fucking Big Daddy and Hit Girl, and then randomly like Red Mist. It definitely felt like he lost like the center stage when that shit started happening, which was very off-putting and jarring. Ultimately, I don't think it really affected the direction of the movie necessarily. But yeah, like in general, I think this movie's fine. It's very indecisive on how gory it wants to be for sure. And
what do you mean by that?
They either show people getting like fucked up or they don't. And it's not like it's sectioned off in certain parts of the movie. It's definitely like scene by scene for sure. And on top of that, it's also like the special effects when people are getting fucked up was particularly noticeable and not in a good way. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I didn't mind this movie. I thought it was fine.
My major problem with it was the first half is way too slow. Once we hit the point where Kick-Ass gets kidnapped and the pace, like Dylan mentioned, goes into overdrive, then I was having a blast. Like, honestly, the second half of this movie I really enjoyed. The first half, I was just like, God, this is fucking boring, and I don't care. And a big problem as well, I think, is that our main character, Kick-Ass, is just massively outshined by Hit Girl and Big Daddy.
Yeah,
they're more interesting characters. They're more engaging characters. They have more agency than him since they're actually capable, you know?
They have more relevancy to the plot and, like, the main antagonist.
Yeah,
exactly.
That was what I was referring to.
And then my only other problem is, like, I think it's too tropey. I'll slightly couch that by saying I might just be tired of the superhero deconstruction genre, which I don't necessarily think is an unfair complaint, because this came out in like 2010.
Yeah.
We were already doing that kind of stuff for a while, so I don't feel too bad about holding that against this film.
Yeah, and I mean, to go along with what you were saying, where Hit Girl and Big Daddy overtook the movie, and because I shared the same like issues, what I thought was gonna end up happening is it'd be like the friends that helped me along the way kind of trope, where it's like they see Kick-Ass like not doing so good, they want to help him out, so he gets like you know, the bulletproof vests, they give him, like, upgraded weapons, and, like, they give him training, and then he becomes the vigilante he wanted to be. But then, yeah, he just gets fucking sidelined, and then they pretty much take center stage, which I wasn't, you know, I wasn't upset with that. It was just a weird tonal shift. But, yeah, anyway, I'll stop so Nico can go on his rant.
Oh, dude, I don't need to go on a rant. I have a big-ass spiel from Jackson to go over here.
There we go.
Jackson's review of Kick-Ass, as told by Nico. This is a fun movie with issues, the most glaring probably being tonal. It jokes around and doesn't take itself seriously enough, and I really didn't get much emotion out of the scenes that were supposed to make me sad or something. Like when the daughter was fighting to save her father from burning alive, for example. It's also super goofy and not really my kind of action film. The ending especially was very dumb to me. Everyone acted very out of character, with badass daughter suddenly acting super scared and vulnerable to the main boss, and our MC suddenly growing hella balls, and flying a fucking chain gun attached to jetpack over a bad guy's house. It's also a little out of my age group. It's also a little out of my age group. The shit revolving our MC's relationship felt weird and raunchy to me, and I didn't get a ton out of there being romance B subplot at all. This is a fun movie. I knocked it a lot, but it has its moments, like the aforementioned raid to save the daughter's father and Kick-Ass. A lot of very cool cinematography tricks were being used throughout the film, which made it very unique feeling, and it was very funny at times. Lane's at a solid B for me.
I don't know what the fuck kind of voice that was, but...
That's how Jackson sounds.
I don't know why that was causing you to cough.
I don't know why either, dude.
Okay.
It just happens sometimes, you know.
Do we have any other thoughts, or are we ready to finish off these rankings?
Dude, I thought that this film was kick-ass, and so did Jackson. He gave it a B. I also gave it a B.
That me
Dylan?
next. Yeah, unsurprisingly, like the other two movies this week, I gave this movie a B+.
Holy smokes.
Cow. Funnily enough, I also gave this movie a B.
Whoa.
So it lands at a B.
A B, I would
Holy
imagine. Yeah,
smokes.
there we go.